Good morning, students. I hope you are all doing well. So today we are using a different method to teach. I have some set of questions here, and we are going to try to solve them. These questions are on mean and median. These questions are on mean and median. So you can take a screenshot of the set of questions that I have, or you can just write them down and we solve them. Okay, so let's look at the first question. The first question says the mean of the numbers 4, 3, and x is 5. Find x. Now, what do we remember about mean? Mean is the sum of all the elements divided by the number of elements. So the sum of all the elements, these are the elements 4, 3, and x. Okay, so these are the sums. So these are the elements they've given us in the question. And it's the sum of all the elements they've given us all over the number of members in the set. So we have 4 plus 3 and x, all divided by what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they are saying that what? The mean of these numbers, so x is also the number, but this time around, the mean has been given to you, and what you are supposed to find is you're supposed to find x. Right? So the mean has been given to you, which is 5, and you're supposed to find x. But I know that to find the mean, it is what? The total of the elements, all divided by the number of members in the set. Okay, so now let's solve it. Now we know that what? Our mean is what? The total of the numbers. So let's have it as 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus x. All over what? The number of members. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So all over 4. And what is the mean? The mean is what? Is 5. So basically they are saying that when you sum all these things, so 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus a number which we don't know, we are going to find that number, all divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, you will get the mean to be what? 5. So let's find x. So what we do, we know that when we get here, what we do is we cross multiply. So this 4 is going to multiply this 5. So this one goes, the 5 is over 1. So this whole thing here will multiply the 1. So we are going to have it as 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus x is equal to 5 times 4. So now we know that what? 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10. So we have 10 plus x. You know you cannot add 10 and x. They are two different things. So you have your 10 standing on its own and you have your x standing on its own. All is equal to what? 20. Right. So now we are being asked to find x. So we need x to stand on its own. So what we have to do is we have to move 10 to join 20 so that x will stand on its own. And you know that the 10 here is a positive 10. So the moment it crosses this is equal to sign to join the 20, it will no longer be a positive 10, but it will be what? A negative, or it will be a subtraction. So we have x standing on its own. Then we have 20 minus 10. So we have x is equal to what? 10. So that means that it is 4 plus 10 plus 3 plus 3 plus 10. All divided by 4 will give you what? 5. Let's try it. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 plus the x which we found is what? It's also 10. So we have 20 here. 20 divided by 4 is giving us the 5. So now we know that our question and our answer is correct. Okay, now let's look at the second question. The second question says that the mean of 8 numbers, so we have 4, 6, 4, 7, x, then x plus 1, then 8, and 2 is 5. Find x. Okay, so this is the question. So you can pay attention to the question or you can write it down. So you have 4, 6, 4, 7. X is standing on its own. X plus 1 is also standing on its own. 8 is standing on its own, and 2 is also standing on its own. And they said the mean of all these numbers, including 8 and 2, is 5. So we should find x. Okay, so let's start solving the question. So this is question 1, and this is question 2. So this is what you do. We have 4 plus 6, 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 7 plus x. So you see this x is standing on its own. Then x plus 1 is also standing on its own. So plus x plus 1 plus 8 and plus 2. All is equal to what? 5. Right, so this is the first step. Now you have to count the number of members you have in the given information. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. X plus 1 is a body on its own. It's just one single thing. So 7 and 8. Don't count them differently. Don't do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is wrong. X plus 1 is a whole thing on its own. So you count it as one element. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So all divided by what? 8. Right. So at this point, what do? We cross multiply. So we know that what? Our 8 will multiply what? The 5. So first of all, we are going to add these numbers. So we are adding 4, 6, 4, 7. You cannot add these numbers to x. You cannot add it to x plus 1 because they are different things. So we are adding all numbers. So we are adding 4, 6, 4, 7, 8, and 2. We are adding them separately. Then after that, we deal with what? X and plus x plus 1. Okay, so let's do that. So now we have, when we add all these numbers, 4, 6, 4, 7, 8, and 2, we will be getting 31. 31. Now we come and we carry our x. So we have plus x, then we have plus x plus 1. All is equal to what? You know, we multiply the 5 times the 8, giving us what? 40. Okay. Now, what have we learned here? We have learned that we can add x plus x. Because you know that any time that a variable is standing on its own, there is an invisible 1, coefficient of 1. So we can add x plus x. But this 31 and this 1, they will move to the 40. Because you know we cannot add x to 1 and 31. It doesn't work that way. If it was multiplying, we would have got, if it was x times 1, we would have had 1x. Or if it was 31 times x, we would have had 31x. But when you have 31 and you have a variable, you don't add it as 31x. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so let's have x plus x will be what? 2x. Right? And if you like, you can add the 31 and the 1, so we can have plus 32 here. All is equal to what? 40. Now you know that this 32 has to move because we need this 2x to stand on its own. So we have 2x is equal to 40 minus 32. So we have 2x is equal to what? 8. Now we are being asked to find what? X. So we need x to stand on its own. If x has to stand on its own, you have to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is what? 2. So we divide through by 2, divide both sides by 2. So 2 here 1, 2 here 1, 2 here 1, 2 into 8, 4. So our x is 4. Our x is 4. So that means when you have the question, this space is going to be what? 4, and this space is going to be what? 4 plus 1, giving us 5, right? So when you add this one, it's going to be what? It's going to be, when we added all these ones, we had what? 31, okay? So we come and put our 4 here, and we know all this will give us 5. So 31 plus 4 is what? Is 35. 35 plus 5 is 40. 40 divided by 8 will give us the mean, which is 5. So this means our question, our answer is correct. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay. So our next question says, So this is it. The following are the ages in years of members of a group: 8, 11, 8, 10, 6, 7, 3x, 11, and 11. If their mean is 9, find x. If their mean is 9, find x. So what we are going to do, okay, since there's no question here, I'm going to just solve it on this question. So what we are going to do is we are going to sum all these numbers. Okay, so you sum it as you see it. So we have 8 plus 11 plus 8 plus 10 plus 6 plus 7 plus 3x plus 11 plus 11. It's equal to, they said the mean is what? 9. Okay, the mean is 9. Then now we're going to count the number of members we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all will be divided by what? By 9. Now you know that this 9 is here and it's also here. So you have to cross multiply. So 9 times 9 is what? 81. So we are going to sum all this. We're going to have 8, 11. So 8 plus 11 plus 8 plus 10 plus 6 plus 7 plus 11 plus 11 will give us 72. So 72. You know you cannot add 72 to plus 3x. They are different things. So you have plus 3x is equal to 81. So you know I multiplied my 9 times my 9. So I have 3x is equal to what? 81. It has to cross this one and join the 81 minus 72. So we have 3x is equal to 81 minus 72 will give us a 9. So we divide 3 by 3, divide 3 by 3, here. So x is equal to 3. So that means you have x here. So you have 3 times 3, 9. So when you had 8, 11, 8, 10, 6, 7, 3 times 3, 9, 11, 11, you are going to get your total all divided by 9 would give you 9. Okay, so I'm sure the total will be 81. So after that, you have found our x. Okay, now let's move to the next part of the question. The next part of the question is median. Find the median of the following set of numbers. Find the median of the following set of numbers. Now, this is what we do. There are rules for median. The first thing that you do is that when they give you a set of numbers to find the median is the middle number. The median is the middle number. Now the first step is to arrange them from the lowest to the highest number, right? You arrange them from the lowest to the highest number. Now there are rules. There's a formula for finding the median which you have to note down. The formula is 1/2 n plus 1. Okay, so this is the formula. 1/2 n plus 1. Now, this 1/2 is half. This n represents the number of members in the set. Okay, now, so you can see 4, 3, 3x. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the n here, you write 4. Okay, now, but the rule says that I have a formula that the first formula is we add 1 when the n is an odd number. Okay, so if let's say that the number of members is 5, 7, 11, when this n, the number of members of the set is an odd number, that is when you add 1. Alright, that is when you add 1. So we are going to take an example. Let's look at the first question. The first question says that what? 2. Find the median of the following set of numbers. So let's go with 2, 1, 2, 3, and 5. So the first thing you do is you arrange them. So we have the first number which is 1, the second number which is what? 2, and 2 is repeating again. So 2 will come again. Then we have 3, and we have what? 5. Right. So you see how I've arranged the numbers. So 1, 2, 2, 3, and 5. Now, the formula says half of n plus 1. Now, let's count the n. Let's find the n. The n is just the number of elements you have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see that your n is an odd number, which is 5. So when the n is an odd number, that is when you add 1. So you have half 5 plus 1. Okay, half 5 plus 1. So we have half 5 plus 1 is what? 6. So 2 here, 1, 6, and 2 into 6, 3. Right? 6 into 2 into 6, 3. So our median is the third observation. That is how you write it for me. Third observation. Now, after you've done that, then you come and count which element is falling in the third place. So you count 1, 2, 3. So that means your median is what? 2. So you come down and write, therefore median is equal to 2. Okay, so this is just how you solve it. Now, please keep in mind that I said we only add 1 when the total number of members is an odd number. So we are talking about 3, we are talking about 5, we are talking about 7, we are talking about 9. You understand what I'm trying to say? When it is an odd number, that is only when you add 1 to it. Okay, now let's take the next question. We'll come to when the n is an even number. Let's deal with the odd numbers first. Okay, so let's pick the second question. So the second question is what? 3, 7, 2, 9, 8, 11, and 12. So I said the first step is what? You arrange the numbers in ascending order. So our first number is what? 2, followed by 3. We have 7, we have 8, we have 9, we have 11, and we have 12. Okay, so this is how we arrange it from the lowest to the highest. Okay, so always make sure you do this from the lowest to the highest. Now, the next step is you count how many members you have. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is an odd number. And what is the formula? The formula says half n plus 1. So we have half 7 plus 1, giving us half 8. So 2 here, 1, 2 into 8, 4. So we have our fourth observation. This is how you solve it for me, please. This is how you solve it for me. So this is the fourth observation, right? Now, so you come and you check which number is in the fourth position. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 8 is our what? Is our median. So you come therefore median is equal to 8. Okay. So I hope it is making sense now. Okay. Now we have been talking about when the number of members is an odd number. Now what if it's an even number? Let's see how that one is also solved. So let's pick the C. The C is what? 2, 1, 3, 5, 4, 4. Now the first step is what? You arrange them in what? Ascending order. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 4, and we have 5. Okay, so you see I've arranged them. If the number is appearing 10 times, write it 10 times. Okay, if it's appearing 5 times, repeat the number 5 times. Now, what is our formula? Our formula is half n plus n. But let's count the members first. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is what? It's an even number. So that one, the formula is just what? Half of n. Okay, half of n. So we have half of what? 6, which is 2 here, 1, 2 into 6, 3. Now, it doesn't end there. This is telling us that what? It is the third observation, right? Just what we learned from if it was an odd number. Now, when it's an even number, it's going to be what? That observation and the number after that observation. So if it is 3, the number after 3 is what? Is 4. So it's going to be what? The average of the third and fourth observation. You get it? The average of the third and fourth observation. Do you understand? I hope you are following. So when it is even number, the rule changes. When it's even number, just first go ahead and do your half of the number of members. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So half of 6 is 3. Then the rule says that when it's an even number, you get the third of that observation and the number after it. So let's say if my members were 10 and I got half of 10, it would have been what? Let me try it here for you. So if let's say my number of members were 10. 10 is an even number, right? So it would have been 2, here 1, 2 into 10, 5. That means for my observation would have been what? The fifth observation. And what is the number after 5? The number after 5 is 6. So it would have been the fifth observation and sixth observation. Do you get it? Okay. So when you get it, you don't end there. Now, you come and check which number is in the third observation and the fourth observation. So let's count. So 1, 2, 3. So this is in the what? This is in the third observation. And 4 is also in the what? Fourth observation. Right? 4 is also in the fourth observation. So what you do is now you come down and find it as half of what? 3 plus 4. So half of 3 plus 4, which is what? Half of 7. So that means now your median is what? 2 here, 1, 2 into 7, 3.5. So our median is 3.5 or 3 whole number 1 over 2. Or 3 whole number 1 over 2. Okay, so today the video is going to be a little long because we have the questions are packed, but we are left with 2 more questions to solve. So let's pay attention. So I hope you understand. So when it's an even number, you just find half of the number. So the observation is what? 3. Then the number after 3 is what? Is 4. Right? So you just sum up the numbers in the third and the fourth observation. Then you find half, and that number you find is your median. Okay, so let's move. Let's look at the next question. Now the next question is a frequency table that has been given to us, and they're asking us to find the median. Okay, find the median. Now you know that our rule still remains as half n plus 1, that is if it is an odd number, and half n, that is if it's an even number. Alright? Okay, now when you have a frequency table given to you, I'm talking about this question. When you have a frequency table given to you, the first step, you know that the n here is the number of members. So for the frequency table, the n is the number of people, the number, that is the frequency. You get it? So the n in this, your formula here, is the total frequency. Okay, so what you do is that the first thing you do is you sum all the frequencies they've given you. Now when you sum 15, 9, 6, 19, 5, 3, 2, 1, you are going to get 60. Right? You are going to get 60. Now is 60 an odd number or is an even number? 60 is an even number. So this is the formula you are using. So you have half of what? 60. Half of 60 is what? 30. So that means it's going to be what? The 30th observation, and the number after 30 is what? 31. So the 30th observation and 31st observation. Do you get how easy it is? Do you get how easy it is? Okay, so now after you've done this, after you've written this down for me, then now you are coming to, this time around, you are coming to what? Add the frequencies. So you come here. Now, let's start adding the frequency. 15 plus 9 is what? 24. 24 plus 6 is what? 30. So that means 30 will fall under what? 2. Okay, so for your 30th observation, you have what? 2. You don't write the frequency, you write the number there. If it is 80, you write the number that is corresponding to that frequency. Right, now the 31st observation, right, so we are looking for 31. Now you realize that from 15 plus 9 we got 24, right? So 24 plus 6 we got 30. Now the next number that we are going to get our 31 from is going to be this one, right? Because 31 is higher than this 6. So the next number that will fall in place of our 31 is this one, so it is 3. Do you get it? So if let's say it was maybe the 30th, or you understand what I'm trying to say? So you have your 30 here, and the observation is what? 31. So the 31 will fall under what? This place. You get it? So it's going to be what? Our 2 plus our 3. I hope you get it. So you have your 1 half 2 plus 3. So you have half 5. Then our median is what? Half 2 point. Half here 1, half into 5, 2.5. So our median, forgive me for the mistakes because of the way, the method I'm using now. So the median is what? 2.5. Okay, so I just have the last question to go and we get our understanding. Okay, so the last question here is, we are finding the median here too. Okay, we are finding the median here. Now, I told you that the first step is what? Is to add the frequency. So we have 3, 10, 8, 5, and 12. Right. So when I add this, I'm getting 3 plus 10 is what? 13. Then I have the total of all this is what? It's going to give me 28. So I come here. 28 is what? An even number. So I have half of what? 28. Half of 28. So half of 28 is what? Is 14. So I'm going to have what? My 14th observation. What number comes after 14? Is 15. So 14th and what? 15th observation. 14th and 15th observation. And I told you that after that, the next step is to do what? Is to add the numbers. So you come to your frequencies. Now, 3 plus 10. 3 plus 10 is what? 13. So that means our 14 doesn't fall under what? The 13. So the next number is what? Is our